Evan Marinofsky here for Bruins Rinkside at day 2 of Bruins development camp. But the focus, as you can tell by the title of the video, is day 1 of free agency, which begins tomorrow on Wednesday. I'm going to be giving you 5 realistic names. Again, keyword realistic. This is not this is not Johnny Gaudreau or Nazem Kadri or Evgeny Malkin for that matter. This is realistic given the Bruins cap situation. Again, only $2.3 million in cap space. That's not to say they don't use some LTIR. Love LTIR, but that does not mean they don't use it. But still, we're going to keep with kind of the situation that they have currently and their needs. So we'll start at center with Dylan Strome. Again, Dylan Strome was not offered a qualifying deal with the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks are just blowing everything up. So he was one of the casualties, and he'll be on the market. Now, again, he's played with really talented players. He succeeded between Patrick Kane and Alex DeBrincat. I see the Bruins just bringing back David Krejci and Patrice Bergeron. However, if one of those falls through, I think Strome's a terrific option. I think there's going to be a lot of suitors for Dylan Strome. I don't think the Bruins are going to be the only team at the table if they wanted him. But I do think he would be a fit. I mean, again, just given that he's played well with good players, God forbid for the Bruins, if Patrice Bergeron didn't return, you could probably put him between Marchand and Pastrnak when both are healthy, and you get something out of him. Again, wouldn't cost you a ton. Again, you know, a good depth piece down the middle and a guy who can play in your top 6. Then we'll move on to another forward. We'll go forward then defense. So next forward would be Sonny Milano of the Anaheim Ducks. Again, not a flashy name. Not someone who is going to revitalize your scoring in the top 6, but he's a guy who could play in the top 6. You know, if there's an injury, if there was an injury to Jake DeBrusk or whomever, you know, isn't going to cost you a ton. Cost $1.7 million last season. You know, again, versatile player, 34 points last year, produces as a depth guy. So again, the Bruins do have a lot of depth forwards, as I've said multiple times on Bruins Beat and Poke the Bear. But if they felt the need to move on from Nick Foligno, move on from Thomas Nosek to clear cap space, and they wanted to then bring in, you know, another depth forward from the outside who's a proven scorer in the past, Sonny Milano's a good option. You know, Connor Ryan, you know, friend of these videos and Poke the Bear host, you know, he mentioned Mason Marchment. That's another good one, just given his scoring and given how well he played with the Panthers last season. Now we'll get on D. Now we'll get into some defense. Now, Jan Rutta is a guy I've been looking at a lot lately from Tampa Bay. He's won 2 Stanley Cups with them. A good depth right shot defenseman. If you look at a real thing this team needs that, you know, is not going to have a David Krejci or Patrice Bergeron-like player coming in, it's on the right side. You know, right now they really only have McAvoy, Carlo, and Clifton, and McAvoy's missing the beginning of the season. So they're going to have to go out and sign a depth right shot defenseman. Rutta fits that bill. Again, Rutta's a guy you can rely on as a penalty killer, you know, maybe a little bit of a two-way presence, but more of that defensive defenseman type player. You know, someone you can put on the end of the game if you need to defend a lead. So he's someone I look at. You know, again, he due for probably like $2 million, I would say, in and around there, which again fits the current cap. You're still probably going to have to, you know, especially with Krejci and Bergeron most likely coming back, you're going to probably need to free up more space. But again, it fits under that as well. Mark Pysyk with the Sabres. Now, this is really not flashy at all. Again, a bottom pairing right shot defenseman, but a depth piece. Again, these are all depth right shot defensemen. And, you know, I would say probably about $1 million. I know, you know, a lot of the Sabres media has been saying that they kind of want him back in Buffalo, given the stabilizing presence he has back there. He's a good defensive defenseman. You know, his numbers this year, he had a lot of D-zone starts, not many in the O-zone. So again, a guy who you can plug in on that third pairing and can eat minutes for you and can be a shutdown guy when needed. So again, if you're missing McAvoy, there's going to be some minutes to allot out to the other players. Mark Pysyk would fit that bill, and he wouldn't cost you a lot of money. The final one, the 5th player. I guess it's the 5th, because I'm not going to say Marchment's Connor's guy, so I'm going to let Marchment not be one of the 5. So my 5th guy would be Erik Goodbranson of Calgary. Now, if you want to talk about a big guy, this guy's huge. Again, 6'5", right shot defenseman, about 30 years old, cost $1.95 million last year, so it's going to cost you a little bit. But again, a good guy that, you know, shutdown role, you can plug in the lineup whenever needed. So again, the last 3 defenders I mentioned really all could fit that role on this team. They just need depth on the right side. You know, do they bring back a Josh Brown? I'm not really sure. You know, Connor and I were talking about this on Bruins Beat that we did on Tuesday. You know, Josh Brown's a fine option. He definitely won't cost you a lot, but there's not a lot of upside there. So again, with these three guys, you've got that upside. And with Ruta especially, 2 Stanley Cups, guys got some playoff experience there. So, and that's, again, what the Jacobs reiterated on Tuesday. This team is going to keep going for Stanley Cups. And with a guy like Ruta, he's got that Stanley Cup pedigree. He's been on those 2 teams, 3 teams that have went, 2 teams that have won. So again, those are the 5 realistic options that they could go for. That's not to say that they don't, send off a bunch of cap and suddenly, they can go out and get a Nazem Kadri. But these are 5 realistic free agent options. And we're going to have coverage for you all week, whether it be development camp or free agent fallout throughout the entire week. Make sure to subscribe to Bruins Ringside on YouTube and follow me at Evan Marinofsky on Twitter.